Hey guys, what's up? This is Phoebe and this is Mike. We're from Alternative Twist Radio. So today we have a new artist spotlight featuring Randy Raatz Band and Michal Towber. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we're so happy you guys can join us today.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background in music?
I've been playing guitar since I was like 8 years old. My first record I found in my dad's collection was Les Paul and Mary Ford. And then I heard How High the Moon, and that was it. I was off. I just badgered my parents until I could get a guitar, and that was it. I was off and running.
So, Michal, how about you?
Sure, yeah, my parents put me in piano lessons when I was 5, so I studied classical piano first, and apocryphally, they told me that I asked them to play piano when I was 5, supposedly. And then when I was 13, I heard Nirvana and I decided I wanted to be a rock star. So I taught myself to play the guitar from a Hal Leonard How to Play Guitar book and started writing songs. And then I was signed to Columbia Sony when I was 17 and did a couple records with them. And I've been working independently ever since.
While I was doing some research, I saw some information. Michal, you got an Emmy, right? From writing, composing, and performing for One Life to Live.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I got the opportunity to do some composition work with One Life to Live, and the music director over there, Paul Glass, is wonderful. Of course, that show is no longer on the air. The era of soaps has kind of come to an end, but he's now working for General Hospital, which is, I guess, the longest running soap and still hanging on.
That is amazing. I loved One Life to Live. I watched All My Children too in the summer when I was in high school. I got hooked, and I was just like, when are we ever going to find out the end of these amazing storylines?
Well, that's the beauty of them. They never end, right? they continue forever.
Goes on for 30 years, like Susan Lucci. Amazing, the actresses.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, the music really brings you in, too. It does.
A lot of opportunity to write very dramatic things, which is right up my alley.
Yes. Yes. And Randy, you're the writer, composer, and the guitarist for Randy Raatz Band, right?
Correct.
So, can you tell us about the inspiration behind your music?
Whatever's going on in my life, or, it's hard to define it. I'm just always writing. I got songs lined up for blocks. So, like, before we did this interview, I was working on a new song right now. So,
wow.
It just doesn't stop. I mean, I could put Michal to work for like a year straight.
That's one of the things that I love about Randy is that he is so generative. He never runs out of creative ideas, and he's just a great songwriter. Over the last couple of years, I've gotten the opportunity to collaborate with a lot of people, and Randy's been one of the relationships that I've been really excited about because he's just such a good songwriter. And, I actually met him through Sound Better, which is a platform where you can hire musicians. And so he hired me for a job, and there are some that are misses and some that are hits. And he just was such a great artist and such a kind person to work with that we've continued doing songs together, both covers and originals. And it's been a really fruitful relationship.
And next up, we're going to do a cover of Olivia Newton-John's Magic. So that's next on the list.
Oh,
nice.
Which
that's
I hadn't
really
heard
exciting.
Before. So I was really excited when I heard the song, and I think he's got a great ear for picking these like really catchy songs that maybe are more deep cuts, because, maybe there are people that are my peers that hadn't heard Magic by Olivia Newton-John, and maybe they'll get exposed to it through our doing a cover of it. So it's been really nice.
Yeah, that's what I really like about music nowadays. It takes the music from the past and the artists nowadays, even from our generation, the new generation, millennials and things, they put their own spin, their own twist, and their own sound to it. So that's what's really interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it really highlights how a great song is a great song, no matter when it's put out. You can always take the bone structure of a great song and bring it into a modern production.
You can do the same song 3 different ways. You could do rock, country, whatever. It's still a great song. in 3 different presentations. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. And what you practiced yesterday in rehearsal, could sound totally different the next day. You may feel like, you know what, I don't feel like this way today. And, put your own spin and make it sound totally different.
Definitely. And it's so funny how, like, you hear these songs like Frank Sinatra or something now on TikTok. And it's like, I teach vocal lessons also. And I have students that come in that are like 13 years old and they want to sing Frank Sinatra because they heard it on TikTok, So there's all these like platforms now that are really bringing back a lot of this music that is just wonderful and timeless.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, because a lot of the mainstream music that I heard when I was a kid was off of cartoons and stuff, the childhood TV shows. And then all of a sudden you hear the original 20 years later, you're like, oh, that's how it sounds. Wait a minute, why is that so familiar? You want to tell us about any of the past projects you guys worked on?
Sure.
Okay. I started off in the south side of Chicago, Blue Island, with my first band was like Ransom. So my first professional gig was 82 at Hart Park. So we finally, I got paid. So I was, I don't know, 15. So that was fun. And then other bands I played with, Sex Kittens, Michael Reiser Band, the Cliff Johnson Band was also / off Broadway. And, a lot of my bands too. So, like, we got offered a deal out in LA with A&M, and then we were going to go out to LA, and then the rest of the band didn't want to quit their day jobs. So I ended up taking another deal with a different record company, just doing instrumentals, and I started doing instrumentals and background music, and I did 2 records with them. But instrumentals, they kind of die out over time.
So between the both of you, was as many songs as you guys written and done together, which one do you guys like the most?
My favorite one is Let the Noise In. Michal wrote the lyrics for.
That's so funny, because I was just going back and listening to all the songs that we've done together in preparation for this interview, and that was the one that really stuck out to me as well.
Okay.
And, one of the things that I love about doing work with Randy is that he combines video and audio, So for that one, I shot some video footage, and we kind of made a little homemade music video for it. And we've done that for a couple of the other songs, but he's also found some really great stock footage and put together videos that look like they're bespoke and were made for the songs. And he has a really great way of editing the footage, so it really looks like it belongs to it. So we did a cover of Fade Into You by Mazzy Star, and people really responded to the video. It was like this couple that was like dancing together, and it looked like he had hired 2 people and choreographed the whole thing because it matched so well, And I just think we've become such a visual culture. I'm so much more likely to click on a music video than I am to just listen to a song on streaming. So I think it's just wonderful to have the audio and the video coupled together. So I think of the originals, I agree with you, that would probably be my favorite. And then I also really, really loved Fade Into You, because I just love that song, and I love Hope Sandoval, the singer. And so it was really fun to do that. And we did a Christmas song, Christmas in My Mind, which I really, really enjoyed. And it's kind of like a downer Christmas song, but that's right up my alley. I'm much more of like a depressing, angsty music. So if I was going to write a holiday song, it was going to be a little bit of a downer.
Well, we have been working together through a pandemic. So
True.
Yeah.
Worst pandemic ever. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
True.
Well, it's really highlighted to me too, just like how the technology has facilitated musicians working together. And I think that's probably been sped along and catalyzed by the need for it by the pandemic, because before it's like you needed to be in a studio together, and now you can work completely remotely and come up with a whole record, which I think is just incredible. You can do so much more. And I think a lot of musicians, myself included, are total introverts and would never leave the house if we could help it. So this is a great way for us to collaborate and get the benefit of working with other people and having them do the parts that we're not so good at, and filling in the gaps in our musical DNA and coming up with something that's really great and collaborative without ever having to leave our basement.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, if we can take anything good out of this pandemic that's been going on, is it's made us connect with people that I feel we wouldn't normally connect with. And it's so much easier. We do it from the comfort of our home, or basement, and we don't have to go out and actually be face to face with people. I'm a little bit of an introvert too, Michal, so I totally get what you're saying.
Well, from a
Yeah.
producer point of view, I can find who I want, when I want, and I know what they sound like. I know 99% they're going to work for a song, rather than in the dark ages where you had to run an ad and have the long line of auditions, and you still may never find the right person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's so incredible. Randy, I'm sure you can attest to this. When you've been in the industry for a while, you just see things change so much, and it's like, even when I was signed at 17, which is over 20 years ago now, when I made my first record, it was at Bearsville, and we spent $1 million, and we used like actual tape. And if you made a mistake, you had to cut it with a razor blade and stick the tape back together. And now it's like, you can make a professional sounding record for $5,000 in a room in somebody's house, So, I mean, finding musicians has changed, and just like recording, the whole process has become so much easier, I think, with technology.
The techniques are still the same. And while we were recording at these $1 million studios, I would sit behind the engineer and I would just watch him and be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Tell me. Yeah. And then
way to learn.
Now I can do it here, from learning for 20 years, paying, God per hour, whatever it was, $150 an hour. Oh my God.
Yeah, so when it was $5,000 there, and now it's only $50 now.
I think it's great too, just that Randy knows how to do all the engineering and play all the instruments and everything, because it's definitely never been a strong suit of mine, the engineering side and production side of things. So whereas he was able to sit behind people that were in the studio and absorb all of that, it's like my brain turns off when I am faced with technologies.
I do got to give a shout out to my band though. I got Lenny Johnson on drums. And then my bassist for 30, 40 years, Ron Hilger. He has played on 95% of everything I've ever done. So I never have to worry about bass. And I never tell him what I want. I just let Ron do his thing.
I'm glad that you have people around you too that you feel comfortable with, and everyone knows how each other work. So you can all work cohesively and it's all in sync together. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Can you tell us about your new song that's been released, Vicious Circle Ride? You just released that like 2 days ago, right, Randy?
Yeah. That was with Ethan Cronin. He's in the UK. And then it's an older song, but I never had it done the way I wanted it to be done. It's kind of a gospel chord progression, but we wanted to have the antithesis of a gospel song. So we gave it the most depressing lyrics we could round up at the time. And then Ethan out in London, he just knocked it out. I got Michal. Yeah, for any female song, I go to Michal. And then any male song, I pretty much go to Ethan in London. And those are my two main singers. That's Vicious Circle Ride. Don't listen to it if you're depressed, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, in the music video, I watched it a few times and I was like, wow, it's dark. It's kind of, to me, it seemed like it's speaking of what we're all kind of going through, or what we may go through. I don't know, but what the future may or may not hold. And it was scary, but it drew you in, because I wanted to see what the child, the little boy, was going to do. And then at the same time, I was listening to the music and the lyrics. And I was trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the kid? Is he going to get hurt? I was like, it was a movie production. It really was.
I think you're referring to Raised to the Ground, which was before Vicious Circle.
Oh, I was like, see, you sent so many videos. I'm getting confused now.
Yeah, that's
the one.
Kind of a war-torn look, but a brand new member of the Raatz pack is Chris Eastwood, he just joined up. He's a lyricist, saxophonist, flautist. So you're going to be seeing more of Chris Eastwood too. So, but his lyrics kind of start off depressing, but at the end we go to, it ends up on a high note. So it ends up very positively. But on Vicious Circle Ride, after that one, go listen to You're Not Alone, and you'll be thoroughly confused.
Gee, thanks.
I definitely don't need help being confused. So you just threw that wrench in there.
Yeah, I just like to keep people guessing. I just do, I don't have any set, idea. I just, whatever, I'll do whatever I want.
So that's good. So while we're talking about your music videos, why don't we take a pause and watch the music video you guys put together?
All right, yeah, that's for You're Not Alone, and that's a happy little one. One, two, three, four.
Take some time, look around and see. Look in the mirror, is there someone there that you don't want to be? I do believe there's some good in everyone, and I think you'll do just fine. You'll be the one to win this time. You're not alone. You're not alone this time. Let down your walls. Open the door this time. We've all been there. It's okay to be the one who's scared. The world leaves a bitter taste when you feel out of place. There's a power in you, the power to take a chance and see. It could be you and me. You're not alone. You're not alone this time. Break down your walls. Open the door this time. I believe in you. But you need to believe it too. You're not alone. You're not alone this time. Let down your walls. Open the door this time.
That was a great video. Thanks, guys.
I'm glad you liked it.
Do you have any upcoming events or any kind of projects coming up in the future you want to tell your fans about?
We got Magic, the Olivia Newton-John reboot, and we'll probably do a video for that. And then also the one that I'm working on for Michal as well is Sabrina Carpenter, Fast Times. I'm going to take that in a more maybe America or Seals and Crofts direction.
Nice.
Those are the next two songs that we're going to be working on together.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm writing for my next record right now. My last full-length record came out in 2019, so it's been a few years already. So I'm doing that with my collaborator AR, and then this summer I'm going to be in Atlanta for the International Singer-Songwriters Association Awards, performing there. But that's what I've got coming up on the docket, and people can find me all over various socials under my name, Michal Towber, which is MICHAL TOWBER.
Yeah, and we'll put your links to all the social media in the description so people can click on. And when we share the video, I'll be sure to tag you guys in it too.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. I'm glad we had this chance to talk.
All right, and I'm easy to find. Subscribe on YouTube. There's another Randy Raatz up in Minneapolis, but if you land on a thing that's all monster trucks, that's him, not me.
I think I accidentally subscribed to him too, now that you're talking about it.
Yeah. Wow, he plays guitar and he does monster trucks.
Hey, at the same time, my goodness.
You guys should link up, and then you could do music for his monster truck videos.
I know.
Randy
Yeah,
Raatz
that'd be
plus
cool.
Randy Raatz.
There's
That's a
also
good
the
idea.
Raatz farm up in North Dakota where they breed large longhorn cattle and stuff too. So
Oh, wow.
that's
You're
always
just plugging everybody.
Yeah. Go Raatz.
All in the family. Well, it's a fun interview. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike and Phoebe, for having us on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please share, like, and subscribe to our channel, and find us on all of our social media, links in our bio. Thanks.